All right, welcome back, people. We are Green. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, and thank you so much for stopping by. Today, we're going to wrap up this Saturday with something that I thought was quite interesting. Apparently, reports are circulating that there is now open fired on sight orders on Border Patrol, U.S. police, basically any law enforcement in the U.S., by using bomb drones and long rifles. Yeah, we're going to walk through the entire thing right now. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I always bring the receipts. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on if you want to spread that freedom across this beautiful country. And thank you in advance for doing that. All right, guys, we are audio, video good. You guys are telling me we're 5x5. That is excellent. Let's jump into this one. Oh, my goodness. I kind of covered this a little bit a couple days ago. And the bottom line on that first video was that there was a skirmish between Border Patrol officers and the cartels. Basically, they were fighting each other back and forth beyond the river, okay? Well, that was then, and this is now. Watch this. All right, so just to remind you where we've been while everyone's filtering in. Suspected cartel gunmen have begun firing at Border Patrol agents in Fronton, Texas, per Fox's Bill, I can't say the last name. The cartels were in the process of smuggling illegals across the river. This is why Trump designated the cartels foreign terrorist organizations. Time for the military to use lethal force. And by the way, on a special note, I said in that first video, what do you guys think would be the best solution for this? And a lot of you shared the consensus with Donut Operator right here. The A-10 Warthog was a cult favorite, a cult classic. Absolutely. All right, now let's just keep going. So as you can see, that's where we were. Now, going to another reference point. This is a raw news alert. Same thing, suspected Mexican cartel gunmen have begun shooting at the Border Patrol agents, a group of illegals, smuggling. Same thing. This has been verified multiple times. However, this little nougat that I'm about to show you is brand new. Check this out. So, Mexican cartel bosses have authorized the use of weaponized drones and explosives against American troops and Border Patrol agents at the border. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Anyway, let's look at the report, and then we'll kind of circle back in. Someone said democracy incoming. That is by far the best response I've seen yet, Chopstick. All right, here we go. Check this out. Listen to this report.
We also just got our hands on a memo out of the Rio Grande Valley sector that actually says that this is kind of crazy here, that the cartels authorize the use of weaponized drones, explosives against CBP personnel and U.S. law enforcement down there at the southern border. Now they're...
Okay, so I'm going to pause it real quick, and then we'll go back to it. So they're pulling to Ukraine, right? They've been watching what's happening in Ukraine and Russia with the improvised drones and the explosives, and now they're saying that they can use them against Border Patrol agents and United States law enforcement officers on the border? Wait for it. This won't go well. I don't recommend doing this. This is a bad look. Again, I'm going to highlight this one right here. That's probably not going to work well. So improvised explosives on drones. Okay, so just so you know, we're not talking about surveillance and taking pot shots. We're talking about literally driving drones with explosives on them directly at the vehicles and the personnel of the CPB. Okay, that's one way to poke the bear. Let's keep going.
Actually being encouraged, of course, to remain cognizant and vigilant, but they're also being encouraged to use their long arms, Blake. I have never seen this in a CBP memo before. They say, wear your ballistic gear, yes, but they're telling them, hey, have your long arms. Yes, they are saying, watch out for these weaponized drones. We've seen a lot of...
All right, so she's clearly reading a report that says they've authorized it and they're circulating it in the population, which is good. I like the circulation and the awareness for our people on the border. But now also long guns. Okay, so let's translate that out a little bit. That's a weird way for her to say that. She clearly read that from the actual brief, or whatever she's reading that report. But that's rifles. Okay, that's everything that you got. That's long range, that's intermediate, that's all of it. That covers the whole gambit. Open up with rifles and and drones loaded with explosives on U.S. personnel if they come near you while you're operating our illegal activities. Okay. I cannot wait to read the comments on this one later. So, I'm going to let it wrap up, and then we'll kind of circle around again. But again, if you're coming in right now, this is coming out recently, or relatively recently. I'll come back.
infighting with two different factions of the cartel down in Tamaulipas, that is on the south side of the border in the Rio Grande Valley. And they have like an all-out war happening between these cartel factions. So they are warning now that they might be using these weaponized drones against U.S. personnel on this side. So definitely cause for concern there.
Wow.
They also just got...
Yeah, that would be cause for concern. So now, of course, that would explain why you're seeing a lot more stacking up of troops along the border. I think Mr. Guns and Gear posted earlier today. I don't have it pulled up, but he posted today where it was basically like a solid line of vehicles and troops. But there you have it. You have reports coming out of the Rio Grande Valley that says the cartel bosses have authorized attacking CPB and law enforcement officials in the United States while they're having another war with another cartel. Good. You know what? We should probably just fling those doors wide open. It worked out so well for 4 years straight. Pick up the sarcasm. All right, so now, guys, by the way, someone just said something amazing in this chat that said, is carpet bombing still a thing? You guys are on point with your comments today. If you're just now coming in here, let me do a brief recap and then we'll hit this one more time. So if you're just now coming in, we've been covering something that there's been gunfire exchanges between the CPB, the police, or basically the law enforcement officers on the United States side of the border, and smugglers or cartel members or whomever it is on the Mexican side of the border. And they've been shooting at each other, right? Well, that's not real great. That was like 3 or 4 days ago. But now currently, we're talking about an authorized report that is coming out and saying that cartel bosses are using drones laden with explosives, or at least allowed to use drones laden with explosives. Now, I think Tim from Military Arms Channel, he made a really good point. That won't go well, but I don't think they'll care. You know, it's kind of like that accuracy by volume troops kind of charge thing. But anyway, if you're just now coming in, let me just remind you where we've been. Obviously, we talked about this the other day. They're shooting at him. Donut operator, in a very succinct fashion, doesn't say words, just uses that GIF. Beautiful. And now we are here. I'm going to run this play one more time, and then you guys will be up to speed, and we'll kind of have some comments over here.
We also just got our hands on a memo out of the Rio Grande Valley sector that actually says that this is kind of crazy here, that the cartels authorize the use of weaponized drones, explosives against CBP personnel and U.S. law enforcement down there at the southern border. Now, they're actually being encouraged, of course, to remain cognizant and vigilant, but they're also being encouraged to use their long arms. Blake, I have never seen this in a CBP memo before. They say, wear your ballistic gear, yes, but they're telling them, hey, have your long arms. Yes.
So that's clearly that report is telling and mandating that the CBP have their long arms on them. So they've been marked as acceptable targets by the cartel bosses, and they're being told to have rifles on them because you need to shoot down drones or prepare for incoming fire to return fire. Yeah, things are going great on the border, guys. Let me wrap her up.
Are saying watch out for these weaponized drones. We've seen a lot of infighting with two different factions of the cartel down in Tamaulipas, that is on the south side of the border in the Rio Grande Valley. And they have like an all-out war happening between these cartel factions. So they are warning now that they might be using these weaponized drones against U.S. personnel on this side. So definitely cause for concern there.
Wow.
Also just
Okay, so seriously, the reason I'm laughing, you guys are on fire in this chat over here. Is carpet bombing still a thing? AC-130 has made an appearance. You guys are rocking and rolling over here in this chat. Guys, make sure you send this out because this is absolutely insane. Are we really doing this? This is how we're doing it? You're going to come out the United States military after Trump already closed the border and he's all kinds of pissed about you guys? Okay. I do not recommend you go after our service people because we get real indignant. What's that word? That's not the right word. Whatever. We don't like it a whole lot. Indignation. There it is. We don't like that. We don't like going after our people. You guys, thank you so much for checking this video out. That is the news. Spread it around. Make sure you are fully aware of what's going on. This is why we have a Second Amendment, just in case. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for stopping by.